Hussein, we can hear you.
Okay. Should we start?
Yes, please.
والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طواها
طحاها
طحاها
ونفس وما
سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بتقواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها.
ما شاء الله. Okay. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الهداة المعصومين المكرمين لا سيما بقية الله في السماوات والأرضين روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدم الفداء. أما بعد فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه المبرم الفرقان العظيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Imam Baqir alayhi salatu was salam says in a very important, incredible hadith that لا يموت صاحبهن أبدا حتى يرى وبالهن البغي وقطيعة الرحم واليمن الكاذبة. Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam says in a very, very important hadith. Brothers and sisters, please listen carefully to this hadith. What does this hadith mean? First of all, whatever bad, God forbid, if we do in our life, we will get punished for it sooner or later. Even if we do tawbah, still we will lose some spirituality levels. Imagine someone even does the tawbah, with the tawbah, still he will have some regret at the day of judgment. I wish I was not doing this. Just like if someone gets sick, even if he gets better, is not going to be the same as the person who never got sick. So it's a big difference, right? So some people get sick, but with that sickness, he takes the medication, and those medication probably have some side effect. And with those side effects, he may lose some other health part, some other parts of his body going to lose some health. So it's actually something that we have to remember, that the person who commits sin, he actually makes himself sick intentionally. So when someone gets sick, it's taking a while for him to get better. So this person needs to go to the doctor, this person needs to take the medication, this person needs to follow the instruction of the doctors, and a lot of things to get better. Even if he gets better, sometimes some kind of sicknesses still you have to take medication forever. For example, there is some kind of sickness, there's some kind of disease that when the person gets sick, the doctor will prescribe medication for this person forever. And he says, this is a lifetime prescription for you. So every time your medication gets over, you have to finish it, you have to come here and we give you another medication. So some people take it for 2-3 months or for 1 week or 2 weeks. It depends what kind of sickness it is. Ma'asiyat, sin, is exactly like that. Sometimes some of the sins, even if we get better, we have to pay for it for the rest of our life. Just like someone, if he actually does kind of crime, there's a different kind of crimes, right? One time someone passes the red light, it's bad, it's crime, for example, or small things. But sometimes someone does a big crime. That big crime will stay on his record forever. He can't clean that bad record. He can freeze that record from his record, from his background. Why? Because that crime was a big crime. So exactly the sin is like that. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps asking us to be good, to be pious. Because later, if we regret, it will be too late. Sometimes some people are young, some people are actually affected by the desire, by the evil desire, and they do something. But they don't understand that what they do, they have to pay for it for the rest of their life. Some people, maybe for like 5 minutes doing something bad, they pay for forever. For example, if someone speeds up and his car gets an accident, he gets paralyzed, that will stay forever with him. This pain will stay forever for him, with him, because he did not listen to his aql and his intellect, and he listened to his evil desire, and evil desire told him to drive fast, and because of that, he got an accident, and because of that accident, he got paralyzed forever. So brothers and sisters, some sins is exactly like that. We have to be very careful with the cursing, with looking at the haram, with listening to the haram, with a bad relationship, with bad friends. Everything is important. We have to be very, very smart, and we have to be very careful. The best friend are Quran and Ahl Bayt alayhim salawat. These are the best friends. If you stay with Quran, as Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Ma in tamassaktum bihima lan tadillu abada. That means if you stay with Quran and Ahl Bayt, you will never go to the wrong path. You will never go to the haram. You will never regret. You always be happy. It's just like when you come to masjid, you will never regret. Bayt Wali Asr alayhi salam is a masjid, is a holy place, is a Imam Barga. You come over there, you're not going to lose anything. You see your friends, you pray, you gain a lot of thawab, plus you become close to Imam Zaman alayhi salam and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But God forbid, if someone goes to a haram place, he keeps losing. And that may affect his lifestyle, his wife, his children, and everything. So that's why it's very important to stay away from committing sin. Any sin, lying, looking at the haram, any small thing can be counted. You have to be very, very careful with them. And if we actually start being good, imagine from today, I start thinking about what I'm doing during the day, where I'm going, who am I talking with, who are my best friends, do I have a bad friend around me, do I have bad people around me, what should I do? If I start thinking about puring myself, definitely even in the first day I will see the effect of that in my life. You have to be very careful, brothers and sisters, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَن يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَل لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. If we have a problem, in order to exit from the problems, we need one thing. What is that? We need taqwa and piety. So here Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam says, ثَلَاثَةً لَا يَمُوتْ صَاحِبَهُنَّ حَتَّى أَبَدًا حَتَّى يَرَى وَبَالَهُنَّ. He says 3 sins are different. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish the person in dunya. I mean, before he dies, he will get punished. Plus that he will get his punishment in akhirah. But these specific 3 sins are kind of sins that even if before his death, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will show him the result of what he did. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him the punishment in dunya, plus that he's going to get his punishment in akhirah. What is that? Number 1 is al-baghi, oppression, dhulm. Dhulm has a lot of meaning. When someone actually blocks the parking lot of someone else, he's doing dhulm. When someone backbites again and against another mu'min, brothers and sisters, it's dhulm. When someone wastes his money, it's dhulm. When someone put the food in the garbage while the food is nice and fresh and it's good to eat, this is dhulm. When someone does not respect his parents, this is dhulm. When someone does not pray on time and does not worship as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is dhulm. When someone does not read Quran and does not pay attention to Quran, does not listen to the verses of Quran, does not follow the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they're all dhulm. So dhulm has a lot of meaning. You have to be very careful. Sometimes we don't even understand that we broke somebody's heart. This is dhulm. We can't play with the people's emotion. We can't promise something to someone and then we don't do it. A lot of people are religious, but they don't understand that they do a great oppression, dhulm, against another mu'min brother by doing something very small. But unfortunately, this person does not know that, okay, what I'm doing right now is totally called dhulm. Some husbands to their wives, some wives to their husbands, some children to their parents, when they take their parents to the nursing rooms, to those places that they have no family. They don't see their children, they don't see their grandchildren. This is dhulm. When someone gets old, they're not the same as before. We can't expect the person who is old, we can't expect him to be the same as the person who is young. When they get old, they have a different lifestyle. They expect different. So we can't take them to the nursing room. You have to be very careful with this. So here Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam says, one of the sins that we actually see the result of the sin in dunya, plus that we get punished at akhirat, in akhirat, that is baghi and dhulm. Number two, وَقَطِيعَةَ الرَّحِمِ. The people who do not have a relationship with a family member. They don't talk with your sister, with your brother, for small things. When the people actually stop their relationship with their family member, they will get punished for this in dunya and akhirat. At the time of Imam Musa Kadhim alayhi salatu wassalam, Imam was sitting in masjid. One of his nephew came and he said to Imam that I am going to Baghdad. Baghdad is a city in Iraq. Imam alayhi salam stood up and hugged him and gave him some gift. Once he left, Imam alayhi salatu wasalam looked at the companions and he said, listen, this nephew, my nephew is going to Iraq, to Baghdad, to plan against me, and he's going to make a plan with Harun to arrest me, and finally I'll be killed for that. So the ashab and the companions of Imam alayhi salatu wasalam said, okay, if he is that bad and you know that he is your enemy, why do you still want to help him? Imam Musa Kadhim alayhi salam said, no, I help him because he is my Silatul Rahim, because he is my family member. And if he stopped his relationship with me, he's going to hurt me. But if I'm going to do the same thing with him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take his blessing away from both of us. But for now, because he's the one who's going to do against me, Allah will take away his blessing from him. But if I'm going to do the same thing to him, Allah will take away his blessing from both of us. See how important it is? See, even he is helping his enemy. So Imam alayhi salatu wasalam says, whoever stops relationship with his family member, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish him in dunya. And Allah will decrease his life. One of the things actually that decreases our life is stopping a relationship with a family member. And one of the things that actually prolongs our life is our relationship with a family member. At the time of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam, a companion came to the Imam and he says, Ya ibn Rasulullah, I want to know about my future. You know, our Imam knows some ghaib, they know because they are inspired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by malaika. So Imam told him that you have only 1 week to live. After a week, you're going to die. He came back after a month and he said, Ya ibn Rasulullah, you told me that I'm going to die in a week, but now it's a month. I'm still fine. I'm healthy. What happened to me? Imam said, what did you do? He said, actually, once you told me that you're going to die, I had an aunt. I didn't have a relationship with her for a long time. We're not talking with each other for a long time. So I decided to go to her and ask for apologies and say, you know what, aunt, I'm going to die soon, so I want you to forgive me. And Imam alayhi salatu wassalam said, because of that because you actually started relationship with your aunt, that your aunt was not talking to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala added 10 years in your life. So now you have another 10 years extra in your life. And number 3, that actually Allah will punish in dunya is lying. If someone lies, كذب. So we have to be very, very careful. We have to be honest. If someone is not honest, eventually people will find out his face, and he will be, actually people will know his real face, and it's not going to be good for him. And this is the worst punishment for that person. So if person is honest, he will not be scared of anything or anyone. But if the person lies, eventually the people will find out the truth. So this was the hadith of Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam. If you have any question, I can answer your questions now. Do you have any questions? Okay. There's no question, so I'm going to do the dua. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma ajjil li waliyika al-faraj. Allahumma aqdi hawaijana al-shar'iyya. جزئية وكلية دنيوية وأخروية ظاهرية وباطنية بحق محمد وآله خير البرية. رحم الله لمن قرأ الفاتحة مع الإخلاص والصلوات.